What is going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a good day. It's been a minute since my last guide video. I do apologize. My team and I have been pretty busy as far as piracy goes. We've had a lot of success out in Yela Belt. And today, I'd like to go over exactly how you can also have success solo pirating the Yela Belt. It's not as hard as you might think. Let's roll into it. Alright, so for step one, it's really simple. We need a very stealthy ship. Honestly, the Razor EX might be the best option for you. We're not really shooting anything, we're sneaking on board ships. So pick the stealthiest ship you can possibly get. Alright, so when we talk about the signatures of the Razor, something to keep in mind is, this ship has a really low cross-section, but it also has a really low IR and EM signature as well. Now when you find your target, you're going to be in standard mode, and we want to turn off both coolers. Alright, so you'll notice the EM and the IR start to drop. When we find our target, you should only be in 1 point of thrusters and 1 in radar. That's it. We want as low as signatures as possible. Alrighty, so I just wanted to go over real quickly, if y'all have never used SC Ship Performance Viewer, you should definitely take a look at it. There's a function in here where you can put in your signatures and then select the ship you're targeting, and it'll tell you the distance you'll be noticed at. Right now, it's pretty much the same for every ship, but when you look at this one, you'll see 2.3K is our detection range, which is really good for us. So let's move on into how to actually find your target out here. So before we can even do that, let's discuss what they're doing. So as Vaughn mission runners, they're out here trying to make a decent amount of money. They're hitting NPC targets full of cargo. They're taking it back with them. So another thing to note, there's an exploit going on right now where a lot of these guys are taking advantage of, where they're pretty much freezing the target, which is what you're seeing right here, and they're able to get a hold of the loot without having to put any of the effort into fighting these guys, which means that they're not here for too long, so you do have to be pretty quick about it. But the idea is, you're scanning the Yela Belt, we call it trolling in our team. You're just spending a bunch of time playing Flight Simulator in the middle of the asteroid field, just circling around Yela. Now we do have a certain distance we like to stay from Yela, and when you're in nav mode and you look at Yela's jump point, you'll see a certain amount of kilometers of distance away from it. We try to stay about 620 to 640 kilometers away. That seems to be the sweet spot for us, and we just cruise around. We're just looking for targets, but when you find one, like what we have right here, you're waiting for them to barcode before you move in. Alright, so ideally, you're flying around and you find a player who's engaging with these targets. Go standard mode. We're at a nav now. Make yourself as skinny as you can as far as signatures go, and then from there you just wait for them to barcode and get cozied up with the hit, and then we can move into actually engaging with it. So right now my team has already converged in on the target. He's already barcoded. So now we're starting to figure out how we want to go about this hit. And it's different every time, right? It could be a Connie, it could be a Reclaimer, it could be a Vulture. You don't know. That's the fun part about Piracy, is every hit's different. So you kind of have to get a little bit of experience on the job to figure out how you want to go about these. And when you're new, you're going to make mistakes. It's fine, right? But as you start to get better, and as you start to do more of these solo, it gets pretty easier, but the objective's the same, right? Wait for them to barcode, board the ship, kill the target, take the loot. It's as simple as that, right? But you can make it more complex. You can have fun with it, but really just find a way on board and then kill the target. That's it, right? So anyways, we're gonna roll into the next chapter of this. I just wanted to go over how to find these guys, but to touch base on it, you're trolling around the belt. So get in the asteroid field, go nav mode, we're circling around Yela. Right, the distance that we found that tends to be the sweet spot is 620 to 640 kilometers away from Yela. If you can stay around that distance, you're going to pick up on barcodes. Now, the thing to note with these barcodes is, you know, sometimes the target might already be barcoded. You're not necessarily looking for a name, right? You're looking for two barcodes that might be right on top of each other, right? Other times you might see the player at the very beginning of the Vaughn hit, and you get to sit back, relax, and watch him finish the hit, and then engage. It's different every time, but when you're looking for these guys, you have to kind of know what you're looking for, and you're trying to find someone who's in the process or just starting the process of these hits. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Okay, so once you find your target, your job's pretty simple. We're going to watch them until they barcode. And for this clip, I pretty much stumbled upon a caterpillar offloading a C2. You know, sometimes you're going to show up a little late to the game and you didn't actually get to see them pull up. When that's the case, time might not be in your favor, so you got to get moving pretty quickly. In this instance, I decided, since both of them were two pretty big ships, I decided to try to get a scan off on the Cat. I didn't know which one was the cargo ship or not. And after scanning both of them, I was easily able to figure out which one was going to be the ship I had to board. And then you can kind of see the distance that we are. We're about 345 meters away, 350 meters away. If your ship's small and you're stealthy, you can definitely close in to about 300 meters. If you know, again, the closer you are to the target when you go EVA, the less time you're spending in dead space, the quicker time you're going to get to the ship, the faster time you're going to be able to board. So we want to be around 300 meters or closer, even. Right? If you're in a razor, you know, some circumstances you can get right up on them. But we need to be able to close that distance pretty quickly. You know, this is the most vulnerable state that we're in right now, is when we're out of our ship and we haven't made it to theirs. So at this point, when you've decided to EVA, we need to start thinking about our approach. Now, I know based off of the ships, you know, where his line of sight's going to be, and I'm coming from underneath. So for me, I'm trying to figure out how can I get to a good spot to hide and not be seen, but I can also go third person and keep an eye on him. And at this point in time, I've decided I want to get on the other side of the Cat where he can't really see me. I can also board at any point, and I can go third person. So that's the next step. All right, so now that we've closed the distance on the ship and we've kind of got ourselves situated in a decent area, it's not the best. I'd like to have a better hiding spot than this, but it's just what I went with. But now I'm third person. I can see a little bit better. I'm trying to find him at this point, and I didn't realize he was standing on his own cargo grid. I figured he was still going to be over there by the C2. But this is usually the point where you'll just sit back, relax, and just watch what they're doing. You're trying to gauge when the right time for you to board the ship will be. And at this point, you know, we're chilling here. I'm actually surprised he didn't see me. I don't know if he just wasn't paying attention or not. But then again, they're not looking for you. Like, they're not expecting you to be on their ship, right? So you can use it to your advantage. And once we get on board, that should be a wrap. You can either A, find a hiding spot, or B, make it to the bridge or the pilot seat, whatever the case may be, and hold that down. Try to get into a point where you know he's going to pass through if he wants to leave with this ship, and just mow him down from there. So what I ended up doing was I was just hiding around for a little bit, and then decided I wanted to take the stairs and go hide up by his pilot seat. And then, yeah, at that point, you just kill him. But I ended up messing with him for a little bit and messing with his thrusters and just kind of messing with him and whatnot, and then ended up killing him shortly after that. Okay, so once you finish up with your hit, and this applies with pretty much any hit that you do, your next step is to go ahead and start making a decent amount of distance from that area, which, you know, you're probably going to head to Grim Hex, which is, if you're in Stanton, that's the place to head, especially since we're here in the Yela belt. All right, but keep in mind, the longer time you spend out here, so let's say you get a hit and you decide you want to keep on looting cargo, the longer time you spend out here, the more likely you are to get counter-pirated, for the person to come back, his friends to show up, all that good stuff. So usually the way we do our hits is we only take what they load. And we usually will hide out near the pilot seat. So whenever he's ready to leave, we kill him, and then we take off immediately. So we usually head back to Grim Hex, and we'll offload there, and then just rinse, repeat. So all in all, it's a pretty easy concept. You troll the belt, you find the players, you know, wait for them to barcode, and then you board the ship, and you just sit tight and just wait for him to finish what he's doing, and you just take everything he just worked hard for, especially if he's one of the dirty exploiters who's trying to cheat the system right now, and you just profit off of it, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the guide. It's pretty simple, nothing too complex. The hardest part about this is just hands-on experience, where you're going to try your best to figure out each ship and how you want to go about the hits. And it's just one of those things that I can tell you how to do it, but you just got to put the effort in and play around with it. So all in all, pretty easy stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this guide. I do have a couple more that I'd like to make. I've just been super busy with Piracy. The team's been working really hard on getting pretty good at working together as a unit, and we've had a lot of success here, and just wanted to share that with you guys on how you also can have some success with it, especially as a solo pirate. All right, so thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a like and subscribe. It goes a long way. And you guys are always welcome to join the Discord and pirate with us as well. We run a very small team, but we're always open to having some newer guys joining us. And if you're a good pirate and you wanna join up, by all means. But you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you all for watching.